It's time for the New African Spotlight. This is where we shine the spotlight on a person, organization, or event that played a significant role in the struggle for New African liberation. The New African Spotlight.
Today on the New African Spotlight, we're going to have an open discussion, you know what I'm saying, with all the comrades right here today. And we're going to talk about, I guess we can start by talking about this whole Boogaloo movement. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all familiar with the Boogaloo movement? No. Okay, so the Boogaloo is a code word used by white supremacists and white extremist group. Basically means race war or civil war. So there are extremist white supremacist groups who have been actively trying to bring about a race war, aka civil war, in America really for decades. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know we've been to gun shows, we've been to, the survival camps, and we see white people there all the time. They're with their children with the AR-15s, and they're training. We've been saying for years that they're training to kill our children. Well, I mean, over the last couple of weeks, there have been things to come to light. Last week we talked about how the president gave us slick instructions to the Proud Boys, one of the organizations who's trying to do this. Told them to stand back and stand by, which basically says, "Get ready, it's about to go down." Well, just last week, it's another group. 13 individuals got arrested for a terrorist plot to try to overthrow the state government in Michigan. They had a plot to kidnap the mayor, or it was the governor. The governor. Yeah, the governor. And they was gonna put on trial and everything. They had plans to murder police officers and storm the Capitol building and take it over by force in order to incite a civil war, second civil war. You know what I'm saying? So this is something we've been talking about for years and years and years, and they when you look at these guys, the name of the organization was called the Wolverine Watchmen, and the leader was actually named called Boogaloo. I forgot this. Anyway, his first name was his nickname was Boogaloo, meaning that's what they was trying to start. They was trying to start the Boogaloo. So just from y'all perspective, what do y'all think of? What do y'all make of this? I know I'm kind of throwing everybody on the spot.
I mean, I'm not surprised. For me, it's just more confirmation that we need to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has been going on for centuries upon centuries. We have been in a civil war for centuries, overtly and covertly. And so I think that if the masses of the people have not woken up under this last president that we've had, that maybe this continued news will continue to wake us up. Like, it's time. It is time to wake up. It's beyond time. If you've been asleep, like, there is no way that you can think that everything is okay at this point. They are on the front lines, organizing in our faces.
Right in our face.
Right in our faces. And so what are you gonna do? What are we going to do about it? It's time for us to organize. It's time for us to get prepared. I have my son, he's only 5 years old, and I posted this video on Facebook the other day because everybody knows my son as the drummer, as the cool little cute kid or whatever, but I've already started training him. He has his toy guns, of course, but I sit him down and I show him mine. I show him how to break it down. I have him identifying all of the different parts. If he's chilling on the couch on his tablet, I'll say, "Hey, get your gun and get in the prone position and show me how you move in the prone position." So I'm training him. We have to train these babies because they training their babies. And like you said, when you go to the gun range, these children already are at the gun shows. They at the gun shows and the gun range. You know what I mean? And so who do you think that they're being trained to defend themselves against, quote unquote, or to offend by killing us? You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, we gotta put in this work.
And I look at it, you look at the escalation of things. You look at, what happened with Dylan Roof when he went into a church and killed 9 black people as they praying to the Jesus, which they gave us in the first place.
Or even the cracker who walked past the police and then shot someone, and they telling them this he got a gun. This is the guy. You know what I mean? And then I think the police in that situation, like, they had praised this militia group for coming out.
Gave them bottled waters and everything.
Bottled
Thank
water.
you for helping us out.
Just like they gave Dylan Roof, then they give him some pizza on his way.
They stopped them to get him
something to eat on the way.
Exactly. Gave him a bulletproof vest. And we're getting shot down for doing basic human things, you know.
Yes.
Walking to the car with our children. We get shot in the back.
Yeah.
You know.
Or reaching to show the police officer our right to carry, you know, which is our right to do so. We reaching for our license to show you that we have a constitutional right that we have, that we are carrying, and I'm going to show you this, and you get shot and killed in your car.
Yeah. So, I mean, that shows, like, the contradictions between, you know, in the system, and the difference between how we're treated and they're treated. But, you know, the question is, like, are we collectively taking this serious enough? Because this particular group, they had thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment, like $4,000 night vision, gargle visions, you know what I'm saying, to enact military operations precisely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we get money and we want to spend, like, hundreds and hundreds of dollars on some shoes and these type of things. So, you know, are we not taking, you know, what's going on? Because we have over 400 years of documented evidence that these people mean us no good. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, they're trying to start a war, but we've been in a war for over 400 years.
Right.
You know, they ain't had to start a war. You know, when you see people who are actively trying to do something in the new African community, we're not trying to start a war, we're trying to finish one. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, the question is, like, do we need to collectively take this, you know, a little more serious? You know, do we need to collectively have our own military, have our own means of protecting ourselves? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, sometimes it's so chaotic living under these conditions as a people. We begin to lose sight of what is actually going on. And sometimes we have to bring it home to people in order for them to actually feel what's actually going on. Because for us, many times we do things because of the way things are, the way it motivates us to do things. And it's gotten to a point that they've done so much to us, it's gotten chaotic, and some of us have gone numb. But we have to break it down into simplest terms sometimes. Like the 13 people, who you call them? The Wolverine Watchmen?
Wolverine Watchmen.
Yeah, okay, so they are, no matter what is going on in this country, they are two wings of the same bald eagle. What we need to look at with them in particular, in general, we need to look at the fact that they are the same people. They just having their little, whatever they got going on, they having their problem. And now they trying to get us involved in their shenanigans. But the real thing we should look at is that these people were able to get these night vision things. So how the laws are applied lets you know who they are and if they are enemy or not. Let us have a group of people trying to get 12 night vision scopes for our weapons. The law will be applied differently because we are their enemy. We don't belong here. This is how we've been treated for over 450 years. Just something as simple as that should wake us up. Go out there and try to get you some sights or silencers as a new African. You're not going to be able to do it. That should bring home that you should know that you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your people. You need to do for self. And it has nothing to do with what they got going on. Because number one, my personal observation of this situation is that they're trying to take over what we've been trying to do. We don't care about y'all toppling your government and having a revolution. We still want what we want. It ain't got nothing to do with all of that stuff. Y'all go ahead and handle that. Y'all gonna need to handle that anyway because you're gonna have to take care of this.
Oh, sure.
And that's owing us what you owe us. You not only owe us the land, but you got situations over the years. I mean, I was just reading about Bruce's Beach. Have you heard about Bruce's Beach? Mm-hmm. This is just one example of how they've constantly made sure that we didn't have land in this country. Brewster's Beach was founded by a family named the Brewsters, some black people that got land on the beach in California, which is now called Manhattan Beach, but it was owned by the Bruce family. So what they did was apply their laws to get them out of there. They said it was eminent domain. They wanted to make a park out of this area, that this resort. Matter of fact, the Bruce people put a resort there, by the way. So they was making money. They was self-sustaining. They had self-determination. And they was starting to bring other blacks in there and selling them lots off of that land. And they came in with the government, because you have to understand, people, it's never them against us in a sense that it's individuals. If we start winning any dispute against them or anything, they bring in their government. That's another reason we should know that we are their outright enemy. And we should be doing things for ourselves. You know, there's a lot of things we can do for ourselves that's not going to be legitimate to these crackers out here. But we have to start thinking along those terms. What's right for us is right for us, and believe in that.
What say you, Akin?
Yeah, brother Akin, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, what's your perspective on this conversation that we're having?
Well, myself personally, I have to look at things like this and try to put it into a historical perspective. And doing that for what we know, it's again, like everyone has pretty much said, they're doing what they're doing in our face. And if the roles were reversed, there's no way in the world they would let us organize in front of in their faces. Like they do whatever they can. They use the media, they use technology, they use whatever they have at their disposal to be able to keep tabs on us, to track us, and things of that nature. So you better well believe that they will not allow us to do that. So with that being said, historically, if you see someone is doing something to move against you, then the only true thing to do is to counteract it. So again, we have to wake up and we have to start just preparing ourselves. Because they say, you know, if you always are ready, you don't have to get ready. So I think that should be the mentality that we take, because we see what they're doing, and then we should start moving accordingly and do the same thing.
Agreed. You know, like you said, if you're already, you know, been ready, you don't have to get ready. And I think that's true, because it's been the same people who've been advocating for the same thing for years and years and years. I mean, I can go like 10, 20 years, and I can remember having the same conversation, you know, especially with my master teachers. And matter of fact, he told me, he said, look out for these certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because these people, you know, ultimately the system is the biggest threat, you know what I'm saying? But you could see individuals like the military police, Gestapo police who's terrorizing our community. Those are visible threats that we can see. We can see that, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious when they shoot us down in cold blood. When they organize militias and they come to events with AR-15s and they start, you know, conflicts and violence, and they shoot people in churches and they shoot people at protests, and the police are complicit and almost encouraging them to do so. We see that. But when we understand how the system, from the school to prison pipeline, from gentrification, from environmental racism, how they dump chemicals in our neighborhood, which is killing us, you know, by the thousands and the thousands, that's not as easy to see. But like I said, you know, my master teacher, he said, look out for these things, because these are things that we will ultimately have to deal with. And you don't want to wait till you get into a situation where you have to react to it. You have to prepare for it beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know, you go to a lot of gun stores and ammo is not as easy to come by as it was, you know, a little while ago. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I went to a gun store and it was like out of certain type of ammo. You know what I'm saying? That's because
you know how many boxes you could get. Like, especially when this COVID kicked off, that's the first thing I did was went to stack up on ammo, because, you know, I like to watch The Walking Dead. And so I'm thinking, like, this is going to turn into some of that. You know what I mean? Where folks going to start possibly attacking each other because the stores was out of stuff. So at some point, the stores, gonna be out of stuff for so long, I'm thinking people gonna start turning on each other. So I need to be prepared. So I went to to try to buy ammo, and they put a limitation on how many boxes you could buy, at one time. So yeah, not only get ready, but stay ready as well, because we not making our own ammunition. And so we never know what kind of new rules they're going to put down. And so that's another thing. And what you were saying, I was thinking along the lines of, because I'm big into trying to, financials and stuff like that right now. And so one of the first things, like when I get paid, they tell you one of the first things you need to do is pay yourself.
Pay yourself, exactly. Yeah.
But we also should pay ourselves by making an investment in some sort of way toward what we're talking about right here. Go buy you a box of ammo. You know what I'm saying? Purchase one item that will go towards your bug out or your bug in bag. Purchase a gallon of water that you can put up to be prepared. You know what I mean? Go to the gun range once a month. You know what I'm saying? It's little things that we can do. It doesn't take a lot. You know what I mean? It does not take a lot. It sounds like a lot when we're talking about how well prepared they are with the night vision, and ultimately things can grow and develop into that. But if you're a novice and have not been getting prepared, it doesn't take much to get prepared. And at the end of the day, something is better than nothing at all.
Exactly. Like Master Teacher always told me, things don't just happen and then you just automatically know what to do.
Right.
You prepare yourself for when that moment comes, and then you know what to do. And I think one of the first things that I would suggest anyone, for anyone to do is get your knowledge up. Get your survival skills up. You know what I'm saying? Understand how to survive. It's like just in case.
Right.
We don't, we're not, trying to get no scare tactics or, gloom and doom type of thing. But, it's always better to be ready and be prepared than not to be prepared.
Right.
So that's the first thing that I would advise anybody. Understand the rules of threes when it comes to survival. You know what I'm saying? There's a basic guideline. Like, what do you need if you're in a survival situation? If they close the ports down and food can't get in and the stores run out and you have to survive, or you have to book into your house and you can't leave because the National Guard is outside and can't nobody leave the house, or you have to leave out of your situation. You have to have a bug out bag, just like you talked about. So you have to leave, and you may have to be able to survive in a rural area for a while, or even an urban area in a while. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how to purify your water? Do you know how to build a makeshift shelter? Do you know how to produce a fire safely? You know what I'm saying? So you can cook food, so you can boil water, so you can do, you know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times when we think about survival, we think, okay, yeah, I need to go get something to eat, blah, 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 this. Well, according to the rule of threes, you got, if you have about 3 hours to survive if you're outside in a bad weather condition. That's 3 hours. So shelter is important. You got about 3 days to live if you don't have water.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So water is important. You got about 3 weeks to live without food. You know what I'm saying? So you can help prioritize things just by having knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have knowledge, you be thinking, okay, let me go try to get some food, and you worrying, you're spending all your time and energy on food. Nightfall comes, the temperature drops, starts raining, you have no cover and stuff like that, and by morning you gone. You know what I'm saying? So just one of the first things I tell everybody, get your knowledge up. And once you get your knowledge up, then you develop your plan. And you create the resources and things, you slowly buy the resources that you need to enact your plan. And that's how you get ready. That's how you get prepared. Maybe one day we'll do a show strictly on survival. You know what I'm saying? Or
better yet, let's take this conversation and grow it and develop it into action.
Exactly.
And
okay.
We, the Voice of New Africa, we get out here and we have some training for the people that are listening to the sounds of our voice. You know what I mean? Iron sharpens iron, so
no doubt,
it'll help us, it'll help them, and they can practically see things that they could do, like a bug out bag doesn't have to be expensive. You talked about building a fire. An easy way to build a fire outside, one of the quickest ways, dryer lint. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Everybody has dryer lint. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's quick. That's something that you can do, and boom, bam, you already one step closer to being able to survive in an extreme situation. So I think that's something that we should, if we don't think our people are ready, then it's our responsibility to get them there. I think we should take that on.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, and maybe we might need to set up like a virtual seminar or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Since everybody,
yeah,
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like someone on this show has production. They have production skills, you know what I'm saying? You know, Liberated Films with a Z. I think they could be of assistance with recording something and we releasing it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a great idea. So be on the lookout for, the Voices of New Africa presents Survival 101. You know what I'm saying? Coming soon, because we got to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
We
Can't
could
just
drop
get
little
ready.
nuggets here. Like when we talking, that could be a little segment we take on too.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's get ready, y'all.
It's interesting because you said something I think people should start just doing right now. Just collect that dry lint.
I do
just
it.
Collect it.
I do it. I have a Ziploc bag on top of my. I already have a bunch of it in my survival bag anyway, but. It doesn't expire. So just because I have some in my bag doesn't mean I don't know how long we might have to be out there. You know what I mean? So I keep a Ziploc bag on top of my dryer, and every time I dry, I put it in that bag, and as soon as that bag fills up, pop it into my survival bag, and I put a new Ziploc bag out there. Like that's just something real quick.
Easier than throwing away.
Cotton balls and Vaseline.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That everybody got cotton balls and Vaseline in their house. So come on, y'all. Y'all just don't know how you got everything you need. You know, you don't have to go online and buy those little fancy disaster kits that they sell on Amazon or eBay from the Red Cross that be costing hundreds of dollars. You don't need all of that. You know what I'm saying? You have pretty much what you need in your house. You just don't know it. But we're going to show you.
Yeah, no doubt. You can go to Dollar Tree for about $10 and have all kind of survival essentials. Come out with a first aid kit and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like at Dollar Tree.
And I'll even go to Goodwill. When we talking about clothes, you need to, because your survival bag, it grows and develops. So you just don't pack it up and then put it up and wait. You know what I'm saying? You need to be in there pretty frequently, at least once a quarter, once every 3 months, as the seasons change, because you want to change your clothes out. Because you don't want to have, it's wintertime, but you only got summertime clothes in there, and then if something happens, you're gonna be pretty messed up in those types of temperatures. So so switch it out. The things that you have in there, you need to try them out. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know about social practice is the criteria for truth. So let's get this work, y'all.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again. What you say about social practice?
Let me clear out my phlegm and my
Hold on, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to hear something extremely important from Queen Joshira. Take it away, Queen Joshira.
Yes, sir. Social practice is the criteria for truth, y'all.
And could you explain to the audience, what does that mean?
Well, audience, what it means is this. You know how you can have a thought, you can have a theory, it's an idea. You have to, in order to prove or disprove that idea, you have to do something materially to bring that about. And so how you bring that about is through social practice. So again, we're talking about building fire, right?
Exactly.
And we're talking about dryer lint, right?
That's right.
How do you think we know that dryer lint is a great source to build fire? Because we actually built a fire using dryer lint. And so we took the idea and we materialized it by using social practice. We took our dry lint and we built us a nice fire. And so that's how we were able to prove that theory was true.
Exactly. Because a lot of times, we have a lot of theories, a lot of philosophies, a lot of concepts. And because we like talking, you know what I'm saying? We put on a YouTube video and a brother or something sounds really smart. And we digest all of the information and we go around and we regurgitate this information, but we have no idea if it's accurate or not.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell you a secret, something that I've learned. The internet is filled with misinformation.
Filled with
a whole lot. There's a whole lot of people who don't know what they're talking about in the internet. You know what I'm saying? So anything, any kind of concept, theory, philosophy that you have, you need to practice it to see if it actually works. It works, especially if it's dealing with survival, because you don't want to be in a survival situation and be like, yeah, I know this new technique that's gonna start this fire, and you realize it don't work, and you up there cold. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and your family depending on you, and you in a life or death situation at that point. That is not the time to try to figure out if this survival technique is going to work. You know, so social practice in all areas, whether it's survival or like, you know, Brother Ye-Ra said, you listening to something on the internet and you want to research, you know, just social practice is the thing to do in general. You know,
criteria of truth.
Exactly, it's the criteria of truth.
And with that being said, we've shown you through social practice how brilliant and how beneficial it's going to be to partake in the Voices of New Africa's survival program that we're going to come up with.
Right.
And we're going to apply that method, apply social practice. But look, it's actually 6 after the hour.
That time went by so quick.
It did. It's 6 after 12. So you listen to the Voices of New Africa on AM 1600, West Memphis and Lakeland, Memphis. 7:30 a.m. West Memphis, Arkansas, and 93.3 FM out of Millington. Man, that was a great piece. You kind of threw me off because I'm thinking the New African Spotlight, but this was great in the New African Spotlight because we started off with the Boogaloo. I want to say the Boogaloo Boys, but it's the Boogaloo.
It's the Boogaloo in general. Boogaloo Boys is just one faction of
And then we went into how we can counteract some of the things that we think some of the skills we think they may have, because Grand was telling me years ago. She said, "Don't think they just out there hunting with their little boys.
That's right.
They actually applying social practice."
Yeah.
And you know who those little boys are going to be aiming at when they get of age.
Right. Rest in peace to the ancestor, because she stayed ready.
Yeah,
she
stayed ready.
Yes, she did.
That was a true example of a elder in Grand. We got a lot of people who are older, who are not necessarily elders. You just have old people, but she was a true elder. So yeah, rest in peace. Rest in power.
Rest in power. Rest in your guru, Grand. We miss you.
Yeah. But you know, we probably need to take a commercial break. You know what I'm saying? We just been conversing for all of this time.
Right.
We don't have to. We keep on. You know, because we got the queen here. I want to converse with her for as long as I can. But I don't want to miss anything she got to do and then be mad at us.
No, I would never be mad at y'all. But I do have a good 4 minutes.
You know what? We got 4 minutes. Let's maximize. Anything else been going on? You know that's interesting to y'all? I know it was another brother who just got murdered, got shot in the back, and I wish his name escapes me, but I think the cop actually was charged with murder in this particular case. I shouldn't even bring it up because I don't have the details to the information, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head, you know what I'm saying. But the issues of police violence, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's still, you know, the officer who killed George Floyd just was released.
$1 million?
Yeah, like $1 million bond. And the question is, where did he get that money from, y'all?
Oh, man.
I heard where he got the money from. Someone put the money up. It was like it was a group, an organization put the money up. And like you, I do not have the name but I was listening to it, you know, when morning news one day. And it wasn't, he didn't put it up privately. It was a group, and they said the name of the group that did it. So probably one of these militias, you know what I mean? So
you know, knowing our enemy, they collaborated and said, well, how much money you can get up? Well, I got a group that's giving me $1 million, but that's what we're going to set your bail for. But they apply the laws differently to us. We wouldn't have no bail.
No.
Matter of fact, we wouldn't be able to see the light of day until after the trial.
And it's interesting that you said that, because, you know, a few years ago when their brother had killed their cop in Memphis, his family, because he was claiming self-defense all the time. As a matter of fact, he just got released, didn't he? Or something. Yeah, something happened with him.
Something
in the news.
We'll find out about that.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll update you on that. But I remember during the time they were trying to raise money, and they would not allow him to do it. You know, they shut any of his social media. They shut it down. Matter of fact, they tried to have a rally for him. The police came and tried to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when they kill us, they have all the resources open up to them. You know what I'm saying?
He was quietly released too. You know, quiet. So ain't no telling how long he had been gone. You know, so
he probably at a beach somewhere waiting until trial.
Released under the cover of night.
Well, we can't even leave the state. Sometimes the county.
Right.
Under those conditions. Well, we wouldn't even get out, but
we wouldn't.
But anyway, man, when are we going to just understand that it's time for us to recognize that the solution to all of our problems is putting them all together and solving them amongst ourselves under our own auspices, with our own land, our own government, our own laws and statutes, the things that are beneficial to. I will. Free the land.
Yeah, we forgot about Akin over there.
Yeah, that is a great point that you brought up there, Brother Kaye, because it just so happens that in 2 weeks, the national election for the Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa will be having their national election for 2020. And you can, by being in Ida B. Wells, vote for the next president of the Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa. We will be set up at the restaurant in Whitehaven. Help me out, Sister Jasira. You know the restaurant I'm referring to.
You said in Whitehaven?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not talking about Smooth Living, are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, it will be the weekend of October 23rd through the 25th. We will get back with the actual times, but just be on the lookout for that. Again, that's in about 2 weeks. And you'll be able to cast your ballot for the next president and also vice president, as well as a representation for Ida B. Wells within the provisional government, because each one of our districts is represented, because we are a certified district here at Ida B. Wells. So just come out and voice your opinion. You know, you hear us every Sunday talking about our sovereign independent nation. Well, here's a chance to declare your sovereignty. Come out, register yourself as a New African, and then also vote for the next president as well as other positions in the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa.
Well said.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, well said. I like that. It's 10 after now. I'm trying to keep up with the time for some reason today, because I kind of wanted to stop, and we can go through 30 minutes without moving. But anyway. That's not going to happen. So I guess we can continue on, because what's really happening is all of this stuff that's been going on for centuries, I'd say 450 years, have been chaotic. But one thing we do know as a people is that the things that make a difference in this country is usually something that is affecting us adversely all the time.
Hold on, before you get into that thought, let's go into a commercial break, and we got to send our queen off properly. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Got to send her off properly, because she's about to get out of here and handle some more business.
That's what I'm talking about.
Busy sister.
No, she's highly demanded.
Highly demanded.
Your black nation, the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa, is holding national and local elections on October 23rd through the 26th, 2020.
All black people who are the descendants of enslaved Africans are eligible to vote, ages 16 and older. Yes, even those of us who are incarcerated. Now, there are 3 ways in which you can vote during those dates. You can go to your local polling station in your city. You can request a ballot through the Postal Service, or you can request a ballot via email to be sent in.
We need to all be actively involved in building our own black government for us, by us.
We have the human right to land, independence, and reparations.
For more information, visit our Facebook page, Republic of New Africa. Free the land.
I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
Critical analysis of real-life situations from a New African perspective. Freedom is what we are fighting for. Find out how to get there. This is Kokai's Commentary.
That's right. You're listening to Kokai's Commentary. The message to the white man. And I got a message for you, white man. We understand and we know now that freedom comes with ownership of land. And don't think that we just learning that because I'm telling the people on the air today that the reason we don't have freedom is because we don't have land. We realize that every time we are in a position to own land in these United Snakes of America, you find a way to take it back. Yeah, so we have figured it out. And we are here to request that you understand, or try to understand, because I know half of you are the world's greatest murderers, you are the world's greatest kidnappers, you are the world's greatest terrorists, you are the world's greatest liars, and you are the world's greatest psychopaths. Anytime we get land, I had the privilege to see a spot by a guy named Bernard Bruce, who had been talking about for years that he was a direct descendant of some people who own Manhattan Beach. And at the time that they owned it, this brother Bernard Bruce, who is a New African, his family in 1912 bought a piece of land in California. They named it Bruce Beach, but it was actually called, the resort on the beach was called Bruce Resort Circa. And in 1915, they was really flourishing. They was making a lot of money. They were self-sufficient. They had gotten to a point where they started selling plots, or lots, not plots, lots, to different black people to own land on that beach. The prosperity, the mere fact that we owned that land and we were being successful with raising the right funds to maintain that land and own that land, the people of California stepped in with their police and demanded that they leave because of eminent domain. And see, we know that when we have something that's beneficial for our people, that's doing nothing, or has nothing to do with European descendants here that control this land, you step in and you take it away. That's not the only example, and I know many of us have heard about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street, and Rosewood, in Florida, and Seneca, New York, which was changed into Central Park. But there's one place that was bought by black people in the Washington, D.C. area. The Washington, D.C. metropolitan area consists of D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Right now, the black people there have named it DMV, and the Europeans have started taking the name and running with it, making money off of it. But we thought of the name DMV. But in any event, in a place in Maryland called Highland Beach, Maryland, and this is to let you know how famous, how important. You can be the greatest athlete, you can be the greatest entertainer, but when it comes down to it, they stick together collectively, and we need our people, even if you make a lot of money, to stick together collectively and start funding the things that help our people out. Because the beach was owned. Now check this out. Now this is to let you know, no matter how popular you are, how rich you are in the United States, you'll never be wealthy, that they don't care about you. Because this beach was similar to Bruce Beach. Highland Beach in Maryland was owned by Langston Hughes, Paul Robeson, and W.E.B. Du Bois. And that was right just beyond Annapolis, Maryland. If you're familiar with the Washington, D.C. area, you got Baltimore, Annapolis, and then further out, you got Highland Beach. And they took that land from them. And these are prominent people that they make sure that we, maybe not Paul Robeson, but Langston Hughes and W.E.B. Du Bois, they don't have a problem letting us read a little history about these New Africans. But they took their land. Can you imagine just being an average citizen, a black person as an average citizen, so-called citizen of these United States of America, how you would be treated if you decided that you wanted to own your own land? So we have to be vigilant, New Africans. We have to be vigilant about making sure that we never allow anyone to control the narrative of what is true freedom for us. True freedom has to start with the land. True freedom has to start with you owning the institutions above it. Freedom comes from land, self-government, independence, and an independent sovereign nation and self-determination. So, Mr. White Man, we know what freedom is, and we're not going to listen to you anymore. We're going to achieve freedom by any means necessary.
No doubt, no doubt. Once again, Kokayi has done it again in our Kokayi commentary. Outstanding points. And like you said, freedom is the foundation. I mean, land is the foundation of freedom. And you just, something popped in my head because, like, we've been talking about, like, how they've been organizing and ways they've been organizing. One way, the reason why they've been able to organize so effectively is they have land. Even this Wolverine Watchman group, the Boogaloo Bunyan, that's his name, Boogaloo Bunyan, which had owned a lot of land in which they turned into a training facility, and that's how they organized, how they were able to get their military skills up to the point where they were so precise with their planning, with their kidnapping, planning, doing reconnaissance, and had maps of the terrain and all of these things, you know what I'm saying? And that's one reason why having our own land and having our own independence and autonomy is such a threat to the United States government, because then we have the opportunity to do the same thing, to organize on an independent level, to do what we want without their control, without their hand in our business. And we're already a threat. We're an unorganized threat. But if we become an organized threat, then that's something they really fear. Brother Akin, you still here? Is our brother Akin still here? But I want to make sure, get your perspectives on things before we jump into our POW shout out.
Actually, can we just go into the POW? Because I did have an update on one of our POW brothers. If we could.
Okay.
Update us on it.
So, for those of you who don't know, the brother Jalil Mutakim was recently released from prison. I know that I circulated a document that was sent to the warden up there to try to get his sentence commuted or whatnot. But I just want to give an update that he actually did get released, and he is, coming home or whatnot, released from prison after being a captured political prisoner of war for all those years.
Wow, that's great. That's great. You know what I'm saying?
It is great.
We don't often have an opportunity to celebrate things like this, but you know what I'm saying? This is a good thing, something we should celebrate. And big ups to you for doing the research and putting all your efforts into getting this information out. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been relentless in your pursuit of justice for this brother. So I appreciate you, Brother Akin, for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
And with that, I think that would be a perfect segue to our political prisoners. Shout out the prisoners of war. Might as well jump into it now.
This is dedicated to the brothers and sisters trapped behind enemy line. For those of us locked down in the belly of the beast of the prison concentration camps in America. This one's for you, family. Stay strong.
And we want to give a big time shout out to Brother Tank, Brother Daima, Brother Atibra, Brother Jakarta, Brother Yurundi, Brother Arthur Buford, Brother Kaumba, Brother T.I., Brother Ice, Brother Calvin, Brother Rico, Brother Lopez, Brother Ed, Brother Latif, Mamia Abu Jamar, Brother Afrika, Brother Matula Shakur,
Brother Atiba, Brother Tank, Brother Sadi, Brother Daima,
to all our ancestors who are no longer with us.
That's right. Queen Mother Betty Shabazz, Queen Mother Moore, Grand. I want to give a shout out to Grand, our ancestors, Yah Shatawa, Queen Mother Yah Satawa, Queen Mother Winnie Mandela,
Brother Bowen, Brother McGee, Brother Africa, Brother Schultz, Brother Bowers, Brother Poindexter, Brother Africa, Brother Squire, Brother Burton, Brother Sabadu, Brother Africa, Brother Fitzgerald, Brother Siddiqui.
And some of our elders that are still with us today, Queen Mother Pam Africa, Queen Mother Condi, General Rashid.
Brother Fadali.
Yes, Grandmaster Teacher Fadali, Baba Lukata. Man, it's so many. We have a rich history and culture of people who have been involved in the struggle of our liberation and freedom. And we want to maintain recognition and keep them alive by mentioning them every Sunday. So if we didn't mention your name, charge it to our heads, not our hearts.
I mean, we could actually do a full show just dedicated to the political prisoners, to the brothers who have, the ancestors who have laid down their lives.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the people who are still in the struggle, to all of the elders.
Nkrumah.
You know what I'm saying? Just understand that we love you, and you're in our hearts, you're in our minds.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're giving positive energy to everybody out there who are struggling for the liberation of new African people. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, I said, we could go on all day, but we got about a minute and a half left in the show. Is anything, any parting words we want to have before we get out of here?
Well, I just wanted to also remind people, coming up October 23rd through the 25th, there will be the national election for the provisional government of the Republic of New Africa. You can stop by the Smooth Living in Whitehaven to pick up a ballot during that time frame, or you can go on the PGRNA website, www.pg-rna.com, and find out more information about actual voting and requesting a ballot.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the address was 1263 Winchester Road. If you want to cast a ballot at Smooth Living on Winchester at 1263 Winchester Road. 38116 if you want to Google it.
And they have delicious smoothies also, very healthy. So, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of a black-owned business, and they working with the community, and they always, Brother Clemente, a strong brother, has always been there with his hand out for anything that we need. So big ups to that organization and that establishment. Go vote. And we talking about vote for us, not for them two clowns, Dumb and Dumber.
Hey, let's give this shout out to Smooth Living, the unpretentious eatery, dueling out black bean vegan burgers, turkey wraps, and juice smoothies. That's right. Go down there, check out Smooth Living.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, that's about it. It's about time to wrap it up. How do we end the show every Sunday?
Every Sunday, we have to say, free the land, free the land, free the land.
No doubt.
All right. AM 1600 WMQ. Thanks for tuning in to the Voices of New Africa. Be sure to tune them in next